I'm 21 years old. I made $407,000 last year. And it's not always been like this, but now I've got to a point where I'm comfortably making five figures every single month. Like last month, I made $35,000. And for some context, I'm 21 years old. I literally graduated university last year. This time last year, I was still in university, sitting exams. And 3 years ago, to this day, I'd never even thought or tried about making money online. I know a lot of influencers and gurus in this space talk about all their crazy ways of making money they tried before. They tried dropshipping, they tried trading, they tried Amazon FBA. That wasn't me. 3 years ago, I'd never even touched trying to make money online, but I simply always wanted more. I was someone in school, the thought of just working a 9 to 5 forever didn't really appeal to me, but the thought of making money online just seemed ludicrous to me. It seemed crazy that all these guys were running around with Lamborghinis making money online. So I just simply didn't believe it. But deep down, I knew truthfully, I always wanted more. But to rewind 3 years ago, I was playing football at a good level. I wasn't really thinking about my future. I was focusing on football. I was applying to university, on track to go to university. But deep down, I knew a 9 to 5 wasn't for me. And I think a lot of people do that where they're going to university, like me, with no intention of actually like filling out that life, being that person that's waking up, going to that corporate job every single day, working that 9 to 5. I knew that was not the life that I wanted. However, that's what I was doing. But long term, I knew that 9 to 5 wasn't for me because I'd had such bad experiences at a young age. I'd worked in McDonald's, I'd worked in River Island, I'd worked in Nando's, KFC, private hospitals, all sorts of really shitty jobs. And this put my connotations around working as so bad. So I knew that wasn't for me. But the difference is, I'd never tried any side hustles before because I was just thinking they were fake. I thought there was a scam. But at the end of the day, it was not till I realised that I had to actually change something because my current trajectory was heading here. It wasn't heading in the direction I wanted it to be, but my goal was here. And this goal wasn't anything crazy. I didn't want a crazy life. I didn't want Lamborghinis. I didn't want mad things. But the idea of the normal, working 9 to 5, waking up, hating my life, having the average wife, average kids, settling down for average was not okay for me. Yet my action wasn't aligned. And I think that's the case for most people. But I didn't want crazy things. The only thing I wanted was to be able to take care of my family. Take care of my mum, who was a single mum, who had me when she was 21, my brother when she was 19. She had no mortgage, no pension. So if we didn't retire her, then she would have been fucked by the time she came to retirement age because she had nothing to her name because she was a single mom, had no help from my father. So my main only priority was able to help my family out. And this wasn't going to be achievable from just working in a normal 9 to 5. The goal was simply take care of my family and build a good life for my future family. It wasn't anything crazy. And I think most men, we have the same thing. So now it goes to like, how do I do it? As someone that was 18 years old, never tried any side hustle before, never thought about making money online before, but was on track to live that normal corporate life, how did I make that change? And don't get me wrong, boys, this didn't happen overnight. I'm not someone that was just suddenly locked in, taking 4 a.m. showers and red light therapy and reading. I was a degenerate. I was going out all the time. You can see I was going out, getting absolutely shit-faced. And I had to actually ask myself the question. This guy here, this guy that was going out, getting fucked, does he have the capability of running a fully functional business? Because I didn't have all my habits in check, and it's probably the same with a lot of you guys. You don't have all your habits in check, but you know you want more. But it's very hard to go from zero to everything. You know, this guy to run a full successful 6-figure business would be absolutely ludicrous. I didn't have the capability of doing that. So what I thought is, I'm a smart guy. I know that I'm able to pick up a skill. I know that I'm able to do one thing. I know I can focus because I did really well in school. I was really good at things, football and all these things. I could pick up skills, but really and truly, could I be honest with myself? Did I have the capability to run a whole business? No. So it was a weird case where I know this was wrong. Again, I knew the goal was there. I knew I wasn't on track for my goal. But what I was misaligned. I was misaligned. My actions was misaligned with my goals. But I was still continuing to do it. Over and over again, going out, not working on myself, not working on getting these goals, not working on building my skills to run this successful business, yet I was still doing it, which truthfully, that would make my failure inevitable. And what I mean by this is that if I carried on doing this, not working on anything else outside of this, the uni life, the going out, the normal degeneracy, then my failure would be inevitable. And failure meant that I wouldn't be able to look after this family of mine. And that was not an option, because what was the most important thing in the world to me? Making sure my mum and my future family were secure. So although I had fun, I was partying, it got to a point where, yes, I know what I'm doing is wrong, but I had to have that switch where I was like, yes, I know this is wrong. Yes, I'm going to continue to do it. No, there's a certain point where I have to change. There's a certain point where something needs to change. There needs to be a pattern interrupt. So this is where I got introduced to the idea of actually making money online, right? And there was two things that enabled me to truthfully take that step out and start making money online. And number one, here's where my brother comes in. And this is where all my limiting beliefs got shattered. And when I say limiting beliefs, for me, it was a thing where I didn't know anybody making money online, so I didn't believe it was real. I only saw guys on the internet, American influencers, guys that I couldn't relate with making money online. So for me, if I can't see it, it's not real. Right? Which is probably the case for a lot of you boys. But what my brother did, he started something called appointment setting. And he actually made his first bit of money from it. And to me, that was, bang, mind-blowing. My brother had been trying side hustles for years and years and years, but he finally had something that actually made him some money, which absolutely changed everything in my life. Because now what I had was something called proof of concept. And as a competitive man, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are, if you see one of your boys doing it, your brother, someone you know doing it, then why the fuck would you not be able to do it? And that's the exact realization I had. It was a light bulb moment where it's like, damn, if Temmie's doing it, he's actually made money from it, then why would I not believe I can do it? And there's my proof of concept there. And best believe, if I believe I can do it, I'm going to fucking do it. And there was three things for me, really, that actually helped me get past this. Because one, the side hustle actually made fucking sense. Right? In terms of, okay, well, what it was is appointment setting. We'll get into that, but it actually made sense. I'm not running a whole business. I'm not looking at charts when I'm trading. I'm not buying things and selling them to an e-com. It made sense. It was just a simple skill, sending DMs online, right? And number two, I had that proof of concept right there. Temmie had made some money. I actually believed it. So what this allowed me to do was open up my mind and give it a chance. Because to be honest, these things do work. Dropshipping, video editing, e-com, the things I mentioned, they do work, but I'd never even gave them a chance because they sounded too difficult and complex for me to start. This guy didn't have the capability of mastering the fucking charts. But best believe he had the capability of learning a skill, right? So to explain what appointment setting actually is in the simplest terms, I want to use TGR as an example because everyone knows TGR, right? And we can see here, he's got 1.7 million followers. And what you can see if you really analyze his page, he's got something in his bio where it says, click here to learn from me directly. Do you think TGR can directly teach 1.7 million people? And the 1.7 million people, out of those people that are messaging him, commenting him, showing interactions, they're not all going to click here. So some of them need a budge. So we'll go ask ourselves two questions. Does TGR have time to reply to the people that are interested in his service? Can he sit there on his phone for days, messaging thousands and thousands of people that are messaging him, showing interest in what he does? Ask yourself that. Number two, the BMW owner, does he communicate with the people that are interested in buying his BMWs? So someone that's interested in buying a M3, does a BMW owner directly conversate with that person that's going to buy that BMW M3? Or does he have someone that does that for him, which is a sales rep? And also, how many other TGRs out there? How many other TGRs are there out there? Because best believe TGR is not the only guy that's doing this kind of shit, where he's got a digital product, he's got a digital service, and he's selling it. But does he have the time to actually do that? Does he have the time to be selling it? If he's posting his content, he's actually coaching the people, he's living his life. Does he have time to reply to all these people and selling it? Does a BMW owner have time to actually sell to the people trying to buy his BMWs? No, he fucking doesn't. This is where you come in. You get really good at it. You get good at sales. You provide people value. So then you're taking a portion of the pie. Same way the BMW guy that actually sells the BMW M3 is going to take a portion of the pie. But the beauty about this is it's virtual, right? And I didn't have any crazy goals. I didn't want to have a Lamborghini. I didn't care about fancy watches. I didn't care about being the most stupidly successful person who's making 10 mil every single month. I did not care about that. All I wanted was 5k a month. And why I had this 5k a month goal, because I worked out what my dream life would look like, where I retired my mum and I had the nice things. And it was £167 a day, which worked out to about 5k a month. And what this would allow me to do was live life, because I'm someone where I don't want to make loads of money and stack loads of money and work all day. I want to actually live my fucking life. This is why we do it. So I wanted to be able to live my life. I wanted to play paddle on a random Wednesday at 2 p.m. so I could actually enjoy the things I want to do. And I wanted to have freedom, like travel countries and enjoy fucking seeing the world like I have to Japan, Bali, Thailand, all those things. I wanted to be able to do those things, not just have loads of money sitting there in the bank thinking, yeah, I'm making money. So 5k a month was going to allow me to do this, because it would allow me to provide for that beautiful family of mine and also build that good life where I'm able to do shit, because I'm just a man at the end of the day, right? So I came to this ultimate realization. So if I get good at helping TGR sell his fucking program for $3,000 or whatever he charged, if I get good at this, I don't need to run a whole business. I don't need to. I can leverage other people's businesses. And if I actually get good at this, then making 5k a month does not sound too far-fetched. Because if this guy's making $500,000 a month, what's 5k a month? It's like a 1% of that. Can I make 1% of that? Of course I can. So I always thought in my head when I was younger, I was a smart kid in school. I got a 9 in business. I got 8 in math. I got all these really good grades. But I was never creative. And I always used to think to become successful, you need to run a business. But to run a business, what you need to do is you need to think of a crazy idea. But I knew that I wasn't fucking creative. But I was always smart. I was smart, but I was never creative enough to think of a business. And this is why this made so much sense to me. This is why I felt truly aligned to it, because I was like, I can use my smart skills. I don't need to bring a business. I don't need to create a madness. But what I can do is I can leverage other people's things and take their money, take money from them by getting good at it. Because I'm going to have time to fucking sit in the DMs replying to people if it pays me well. And best believe, getting to that 5k a month, that's paying me well, right? And I'll be honest, right? What I do is not the most fun thing in the world. To be honest, it actually fucking sucks. It's not the most fun thing in the world. I'll be straight up, right? I'm sending DMs all day. It's super repetitive. I'm jumping on calls with people. It's not exactly like I'm sitting here having the best time of my life, laughing away. But the pros definitely outweigh the cons, because number one, it takes me maximum 4 hours a day. Very, very maximum. Some days less. I can do it on the beach. That thing that I said earlier, I can play paddle whenever I want. And this is my dream life. Not necessarily enjoying what I do, because most people don't enjoy what they do anyway. But if I can do something I don't enjoy for my room, that makes me 5k per month, that only takes me 4 hours a day, and it allows me these things and take care of my family, okay, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's the most fun thing in the world, sending DMs on your phone. It's not. However, if you want that life, then that's something you can do, right? So how do I actually make the money? Because it's all good saying replying to TGR's DMs, but how is that actually going to translate into money? So let's say TGR, right? He's got a coaching program, $5,000. And all the people that are interested, so maybe they comment, they like, they message him, I'm going to DM these people. I'm going to reply to them. And I'm going to use my different sales techniques to book a call with a closer. And what a closer is someone's going to sit on a Zoom call with them and run them through the details of the program and essentially sell them. But all I've got to do is line that up. Almost like in basketball, it's a layup for someone to go and dunk. So I DM someone and they're super interested, and then they pay $5,000 to TGR. I take home my commission. I take home my 10% commission. I take $500 for that. And obviously you can imagine TGR is getting loads of people every single day message him. So all I need to do is make one sale a day, and that's $500 a day. Obviously, there'll be days where you don't make sales. There'll be days where you make multiple sales in a day. But I realized that, okay, if I do that 10 times, then I can make 5k. 10 of those in a month, if I'm doing it every fucking day, why would I not be able to do that? And I had a crazy, crazy realization that the better I get at booking calls, the more money I make. The more money I make, the less I have to work. And what I can do with that is I can just focus on getting really good. And how I focused on getting good was, number one, by actually doing it, by jumping in there, experiencing it, getting training, so watching YouTube videos, investing in mentors, but also making my life better about it. Spending more time revising these things, going over my DMs, reflecting, understand how I can get better, because I knew if I got better, I could work less and play paddle more, which ultimately was the fucking goal. And don't get me wrong, this isn't an overnight procedure. This isn't just, oh, send TGR a message, you're going to land a role and you're going to start making 5k per month. I've been doing this for 3 years for context, right? But I started from zero. I started with no training, no sales experience, no experience in the online world. And I made 5k per month in the space of 8 months' time. 8 months' time, I was making 5k a month, living my dream life. So I started from absolutely nothing, did this in 8 months' time, which some people wouldn't be willing to make that sacrifice. But for me, 8 months compared to 50 years working in a job that I hate was a sacrifice I was willing to make. And don't get me wrong, in that time with 8 months, I wasn't making nothing. I was obviously making money, but that dream life that I associated with 5K a month, it took me 8 months to get there. Which, to be honest, most people would wait their whole life to be able to achieve their dream life. So it was a sacrifice I was willing to make. And I want to just make a massive disclaimer one more time. This isn't necessarily fucking fun. This isn't like trading where, ooh, I put a trade on now, dopamine, it's like gambling. No, this is a fucking simple thing that you do and it's repetitive, it's boring. However, if you're in a situation where you feel like your life's boring, you feel like you don't enjoy yourself, and you would enjoy yourself for more spending 4 hours a day, then this is your chance to lock in. Do something like this, because at the end of the day, I started from nothing, no sales experience, no information about this online space, fear of actually stepping into it because I thought it was a scam. But now here I am, 3 years later, haven't worked in 9 to 5 gyms, travelled to so many different countries, live in an apartment in Manchester, got nice cars, nice watches, and all these things that I never even thought I wanted. So this is your sign.